Welcome back to the Voices of Our Story. In our last episode, we explored how early short stories like The Awakening and The Story of an Hour began to challenge traditional depictions of women. Today, we'll take that conversation further by focusing on intersectionality in literature, how the struggles of women are often shaped by race, class, and other identities. Today, I'm joined by two new guests for the discussion. First, we have Dr. Jacob, a writer and professor who focuses on African American literature. Welcome, Dr. Jacob.
Thanks, Keys. Glad to be here.
Also, joining us is Dr. Nicholas, a researcher who specializes in post-colonial feminist literature. It's great to have you, Doctor.
Thank you, Keys. I am excited to dive into this topic.
Okay, so let's start with discussing a powerful story that really brings the issue of race and gender to the forefront. Alice Walker's The Color Purple. Dr. Jacob, what stands out to you about how Walker addresses intersectionality in this novel?
Well, that's a great question, Keys. The Color Purple is groundbreaking because it centers the voices of black women, especially those who are marginalized not only by their gender but by their race. Celie, the protagonist, is abused and silenced early in the novel, but as the story progresses, she finds her voice. Walker highlights how the intersection of race and gender creates unique struggles but also shows how solidarity among women, especially black women, leads to empowerment and healing.
It's such a powerful narrative of transformation, don't you say? Dr. Nicholas, your research looks at post-colonial contexts. So how does a story like The Color Purple connect with the struggles of women in other marginalized communities?
Yeah, so to understand that, we need to know that intersectionality is the key when we look at the literature from the post-colonial world. The experiences of colonized women are often shaped by both their gender and the cultural identity. There's a story that resonates with The Color Purple, which is furthered by a Pakistani writer, Kishore Nahid. It explores the layers of oppression faced by women in patriarchal societies, while also dealing with the effects of colonialism. Like Celie, the women in Purda seek autonomy, even within restrictive social structures.
That's a fascinating parallel. Both Walker and Nahid are showcasing how women from different parts of the world face multiple levels of oppression. Dr. Jacob, how do you think contemporary literature is expanding on these themes of intersectionality?
To answer that, I think we're definitely seeing more voices from diverse backgrounds pushing these themes forward. Writers like Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, in her short story collection The Thing Around Your Neck, examine the lives of women caught between traditional values and modern expectations, as well as how migration and displacement add another layer to their identity struggles. These modern stories are not only about women's rights, but also about cultural clashes and the search for belonging in a globalized world.
That's a great point, Dr. Nicholas. So, how do you think post-colonial feminist writers challenge traditional depictions of women in these stories?
The thing is that they often reject the idea of a universal female experience, but instead highlighting how local and cultural contexts shape women's life. In Things Around Your Neck by Adichie, portrays women balancing cultural expectation from Nigeria with their lives in US. This dual identity adds complexity to the struggle for autonomy. It shows that there is no way to experience being a woman is shaped by factors such as, race, class, and geography.
It's fascinating how the stories are deepening our understanding of women's lives beyond gender alone. Dr. Jacob, when we think about these works, The Color Purple, Parda, and even The Thing Around Your Neck, what's the common thread that binds them?
Talking about the common thread, I would say it's the way these authors are amplifying voices that have been historically marginalized. Whether it's black women in the American South, women under colonial or patriarchal rule, or women navigating new identities through migration, the core theme is resilience. These women's stories reflect not just survival, but the quest for dignity and self-expression in systems designed to silence them.
That's beautifully put. As we wrap up, Dr. Nicholas, what do you hope readers take away from stories that explore intersectionality?
I really do hope the readers see that the feminist struggle isn't one size fits all. It's important to understand the specific challenges that women face depending on their race, cultural background, etc. By reading these stories, we can gain a deeper understanding of the diversity within women's experience.
And that's exactly what makes these narratives so compelling. Thank you both, Dr. Jacob, Dr. Nicholas, for sharing your insights today. Join us next time as we continue exploring the evolving voices of women in literature. Thank you.